Moshi, it's me, Cat Vine of Cat Calls. Welcome to another edition of Cat Calls. I am so happy to be back. It's been about a month and a half since I last did a stream, and I'm excited that Dinosaur Shoddy's in the audience. I'm excited that Joey Headset is here in the chat. And if you're not in the chat because you're actually watching this episode later on YouTube, where I publish all of my old Cat Calls episodes, then, what are you waiting for? You should just come on over to the stream while it's live. It's happening most Thursdays at 7 p.m. ET, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if you're in Portugal, as one of our guests is right now, I guess it's 1 in the morning or something absurd. So we have to make sure that we give a huge round of applause to today's guest. I'm so excited to be coming back strong with these two of the funkiest motherfuckers alive right now, I'm pretty sure, especially when they come together. I don't know what kind of magic sauce they're soaking in the studio, but everyone needs to give it up right now for Pat Lok and Party motherfucking Pupils, y'all. I know, it's so exciting, no one can believe it, and we're back. I first met Pat. Hi, my name is Cat Vine, and I can speak English. I first met Pat at Electric Forest, and I'm not even really sure what year it was anymore. It was pre-COVID. So it was 2017, 2018, something like that. He came through this house where I was staying with some friends who were doing a little music songwriting camp of sorts. And we bonded over a shared love of Bloghouse and New Disco. And I also saw him DJ for the first time. And I was blown away. I was just like, this guy, yes, I'm going to follow him everywhere he goes. Party Pupils, on the other hand, Ryan to be specific, I have not had the pleasure of chatting with Mr. Ryan of the Party Pupils duo before this time, but I'm so excited because I've been a fan of his work with Party Pupils for years, ever since he first came out. And when these two get together, as I said, magic. So I'm very excited to have both of them on the line, and I don't want to put off any longer. Okay, I take that back. I'm going to wait just a few minutes because I want to play for you one of their latest collaborations. It's called I Want You, and it's so infectious I have to wear a mask in the club. Was that too soon? Was that too dark? Is it fucked up to make club mask jokes? I'm canceled. Whatever. You know what's not canceled is I Want You by Party Pupils and Pat Lok. And when we come back, we will have them on the line. So stay here. Get your questions ready. Dinosaur Shoddy, I know you got some questions. You really know your shit. So stay on the line. When we come back, Party Pupils, Pat Lok. Woo! Okay, guess who is not Elohim? This is not Elohim. Who is it? It's Pat Lok.
Hey, sorry to disappoint Elohim fans.
No, I don't think that. I mean, honestly, I think these are Party Lok fans in the chat right now. But I had Elohim as my last guest when I did Cat Calls previously, and as I was set up for both of you, I had Elohim's name in the single. But that's okay. Ryan from Party Pupils is handling some first night of tour business, and he should drop in as soon as he is free from slap at a bass duties.
Oh my god. At the Fonda too. So anyone in LA should go to that.
Yes, if you're in LA, go see Max at the Fonda with Party Pupils Ryan on bass, right? I'm not making that up.
No, you're not. He does it all, I think.
That's
except for
so
drums.
cool.
Yeah,
well, what's stopping him? Not that it's your shit to say, right? I'm tell the world why Ryan won't play drums. What is it?
Yeah. I mean, he probably has got a whole shtick on that. Maybe he does. Honestly, I think he's we get along great, and I think part of that is he's very multi-talented. So I'm sorry if I'm scooping your questions.
No, please go for it.
Yeah, no, he's super dope, and I think we have a good communication style, which is maybe more challenging to figure out for producers. I don't know if you usually get into this stuff, but I haven't collabed with a lot of producers successfully, not for lack of trying. And so when you find like someone that you vibe with, whether that's in person or remotely, you kind of like, it's like kind of found gold. And that's, I guess, why we just keep doing it.
I know. It's almost like its own little version of a relationship. You're like, God, I've been on so many Tinder dates and the conversation is just such a snore. But like with you, it's just easy. It just flows. So let's do this again.
You're not wrong. Yeah. Like you can, we make like, stupid jokes and like rip on each other. Like I think I rip on him a little harder. Sometimes I'm like, oh, but he's
yeah.
bad.
I want to hear, what's your best rip? Rip him in his absence. It's okay. So, it's the safest time.
Well, okay. So I guess the first time that we were like DJing together, I was playing at a standard pool party, and he always brings it up. I don't remember who else was on that show, but he showed up like literally. He got in like right before the end because they didn't let him in because like wasn't on the bill. I just said come by and play some records, and then he started playing, and then I guess I turned around while we were doing this B2B. I was like, what? I was like, why? Like, why is the sync button on? Like, I think I said something that was like mildly inflammatory. I was like, we don't use the sync button or something like that. And
you're like, what bitch came over here and put their drink down on the sync button, bro?
Exactly. So he's called me out like half dozen times on Twitter. Like anytime someone's talking about the sync button on Twitter, then he'll like quote tweet it and like mention me.
Oh my God. Everything but the DJ sync, bro. Like, let's go. So Joey Headset says, stop sync shaming.
Stop sync shaming. Fair enough. I mean, I just, at the time I was just surprised. I don't care how people get the job done. But
listen,
it's funny that he won't let that go.
It's okay. This is just a humble flex by Pat to be like, I can fucking beat match, it's all good.
Yeah, I can count to 4. Maybe that's why he doesn't drum.
Yeah, right, exactly. We figured it out and scene. Okay. No, thank you so much for making it work yourself. Dinosaur Shoddy is loving all the rips, by the way. I am really appreciative of you coming through because you yourself are making it work. You are all the way on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean in the south of Portugal.
It's beautiful.
So it's like the middle of the fucking night for you, and you just finished DJing to secure your couch spots.
Yeah. Highly. Oh no, it's okay. Don't shed any tears for me, everyone. Like it's.
Right, it's so hard.
For F is for fantastic fish over here. Like I've never. It's.
I know.
Incredible.
Just a little B2B with boys noise to get you through the day, right? Like, what the fuck was that about?
Right, that was a surprise. Okay, so the context on that is like, I was doing this private event. Out here, there's like a crypto conference, and like I kind of fell into a little bit.
Of course, there's a crypto conference. Just drop a pin anywhere on the planet, and there's probably a crypto conference happening there.
This is true. This is very true. And so I got booked for this. For this event with also the Magician and Cassian.
So fun!
I know. Yeah, it was super legit because I know both those guys a little bit, and. I heard that Boys Noise lived out here, but I wasn't sure, and I've kind of like our paths have crossed like briefly and stuff, and so I guess when he showed up, just like in the booth, it was like, oh, like hey, I didn't even know like you're in town, like hey, like what's up? And he's like cool, like my friend texted or my friend of a friend was like, oh, like. Boys Noise and I are like loving the set right now. I was like, oh, like crazy. I didn't. Okay, that's a message I never thought I would receive.
Right. First of all, that was cool enough. You're like, I could just go home after that. That's great.
I can go home now, and I was like, oh my god. And then he like stepped up to the text. He was like, oh, like, do you mind if I like play a couple songs or maybe some demos? And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, like here, like no, you're good. Like we're good.
That's so awesome. He's such a cool guy too. Like I don't DJ, but if I did, that would be my goals right there. Be for him to come hang out.
Super cool, really chill, really smart, and like takes the whole craft and art and everything, the whole package very seriously. And it was cool. We got to hear. This is actually, I think, my second time hearing some of the like his next. I'm not going to drop too much, too many spoilers, but like his next or one of his next records on Defected, which is kind of similar to like the classic like disco house stuff. A big If you were on my Instagram stories, then you would have seen it.
Yeah. Which means everyone needs to go to Pat Lok Music on Instagram and
right.
Did you save them or are they gone into the ether?
I think it's probably in my like highlight.
Yeah.
And you'll see, it was one of the recent ones. And this is because we're going like B2B for a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think that makes the highlight section just maybe.
Yeah. The leak on the records. But
that's so tight.
Played some of the new stuff and that banged really hard. And I don't know, just one of those really kind of magical moments because, you know, obviously he's a legend and like super honed in on his craft and has been for a long time. So it's, I don't know, like some of these experiences, like it didn't even really matter. I don't know if the crowd knew
right
that it was him.
Who knows what DJs look like? Like I know.
Also, that we weren't using the mic because in Europe, like people just not like you don't need the mic.
Oh, really?
Like, it's almost like weird sometimes, maybe in the UK, but like in
they like
Western
to chat.
Europe,
they like to
chat. They'll count to 4, but like Spain, you don't. Maybe once at the beginning or once at the end, and you get the sense like Paris.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, it's not cool.
I was doing this interview with Justice, if I may humble flex real quick.
And
it was at Ultra, and I was talking to them about the times they've played Ultra in the past. They're kind of regulars, which maybe seems strange or out of place, but they were saying they like to play it there because they feel like they're playing to a crowd that isn't their crowd, whatever. But they also made this very funny, like, soft diss where they were like, yes, and we like coming here because it's like, you know what year it is, because they hear the people on the microphone and they say, 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they're like, okay. And I'm sorry for doing the accent. I so apologize to the guys and all of France for doing that. But
they're like watching right now. They're like,
they're like, tell her to.
That's Quebecois.
You must. Do you speak French? Parlez-vous français?
No.
Are you that kind of French or Canadian?
No,
excuse me.
Petit peu. No, I'm from the wrong side, the other side, the West Coast. So like, there's not that much use over there. But if I was like from Ontario or Quebec, then I could offend a lot of people with my accent.
Well, there's no better time like the present than to try. No, you saying that you're from the West Coast of Canada just made me think for the first time, like the way that America has this kind of East Coast, West Coast, differing cultures, slightly at battle with each other. Is there an East Coast, West Coast culture war in Canada?
Ooh, so the East Coast of Canada is technically like the Maritimes, which it's sort of like New England if it was like uninhabited. And
lacking all hip hop seed culture, just like
I don't even know how to describe it. It's cute. It's like Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. They just sound like made up. Newfoundland.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't sound like real places.
It's like Narnia.
Exactly. That's exactly. And it's like super picturesque and small. And then so like you move to there's Quebec. I mean, I guess we could just pull up a map. And then there's like Ontario, which has like Toronto, and that's where
Drake lives.
That's where
the sixth god.
Yes, exactly. OVO and the Raptors go Raps. And then you have like a bunch of like nothing, like wheat for like 6,000 miles. And then you have British Columbia, Vancouver, where I'm from, which is just above Seattle and like kind of like the Bay in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if we have people like, I think it's punching upwards. Toronto doesn't really think about Vancouver that much. And you look at some visit, and right. Vancouver's like, no, Toronto's like, people are mean. And it's like, they're actually not, guys.
Yeah, it's Canada. Everybody's nice. Like,
it's nice.
They maybe don't have time to give you directions, and that's like about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not from Canada. Like, I don't know.
Have you been?
I have been to Canada a few times, but always in these very like whiplash experiences. I never get to stay for more than 2 days at a time for some sad reason that I really need to rectify. And in fact, I've only been to the Toronto area a couple of times, but I've been meaning to go to Vancouver for quite a moment now because I hear that it's really cool. Although it gets cold, but
Not that cold. Not like
nice. Because it's on that coastal, like you said, like the Bay Area, Seattle sort of thing.
It won't even snow every year necessarily. It's just like wet and dark. But the thing is that we have like our food is bomb.
Oh,
like
do tell.
The Asian. Yeah, well, Vancouver's like 50% Asian. Like no lie. And so our sushi game, the running joke. Like I'm pretty chill about stuff, but I'm a snob about like. Really, probably number one thing is sushi, and secondly would be music.
Yeah, the third being the sync button, as we already know.
The sync button, which is related to music, a 2A.
2A.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. And it's because like Vancouver, I'm pretty sure has the best sushi outside of like Japan.
Yeah.
And for the cost. And so as an American, you come in and I feel like you're eating better stuff at like 35% of the price.
Damn. Fuck. Okay.
So
Sushi game strong. Give us your top 3 sushi spots in Vancouver. Dare you?
Oh, I kind of just do mainly 2. There's
best poutine outside of Tokyo also is the claim in the chat.
Well, yeah. Well, I would like someone to refute that because I've had like good sushi in LA, and we went to like a baller sushi spot in New York recently, and I was like, this is solid. I'm like, this is solid. I'm like, this is like maybe 7.5, 8 out of 10, but it was like 4 ballers.
Yeah, right. Like an omakase, crazy, like don't walk in if you need a price on the menu sort of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And I was like, oh no, you can do this you can get this level for like $60-$70 Canadian, like easily, which is like it's like $40 US. It's like $50. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So why do it?
Wow.
Don't eat tacos in Vancouver. Don't eat tacos in Vancouver. Don't eat sushi in LA.
Ooh, fair game. So I like this.
That's
do you have any other food rules from your travels? Sounds like a cool name for your memoir as well, by the way.
Oh my god. When in doubt, like it happens probably more in smaller towns and communities. When in doubt, you're at like a place, it's the only place that's open or something, and you're not sure what to do or just get one of the safest bets is get the thing that's named after the business. Like if it's called whatever.
Right. The signature
Hamburger
dish.
Steve's.
Yeah.
Get the Steve's burger. That's your best chance.
That's so true. And you know what? I'm sad that someone needs to be told that. You know what I mean? I imagine that you trial and errored this out there and you were just like, I keep getting burned. I don't know why. Yeah. I keep ordering burritos at Italian spots and somehow it doesn't work out.
Yeah, you're like in Dakota getting like the ratatouille or something at like the highway diner. You're like, this doesn't meet my expectations. It's not Parisian at all.
Exactly.
So that would be one.
More culinary secrets.
So I guess like for DJs it's a funny one, or for like shows, because this is like kind of first world problems, but you'll go to a spot and people want to go out, like your friends or promoter will often be like, let's go for like this amazing dinner.
That famous promoter dinner. It's like, I know all about it.
It's great, but also sometimes, well, not the main point, but sometimes you're like tired from the travel. Maybe you didn't sleep or whatever, like red eye or whatever. That's its own thing. But sometimes you're in a place like, let's say tonight, if I had just like landed and like I had 2 hours and we were going to go eat dinner, like, yeah, I want to eat everything, but like, I'm going to go play for a couple of hours. Like you don't want to, feel bloated, I guess. Or like sluggish, right? Sleepy. You're like,
have that surprise after international flight poop in the middle of your set.
Sure. We can go there.
I'm sorry. It's a terrible show.
No, it's Mac DeMarco. I think that happened to him. I think he ended up being banned.
I believe that, honestly. He seems like the kind of guy that's going to do a mid-set shit anyway.
Also a Vancouver guy.
Really? Like that's awesome.
East fan. Yeah, my hood.
Shout out.
I think that's all I got on the food tips for now. We can
That's
revisit.
fair. That's fair. You really gave us a wealth of information already, and it's amazing I didn't have to pay you for it. So thanks for just dropping knowledge bombs.
So Toshi is the number one. That's like with a bullet for me
Okay.
and Van.
Done.
Toshi.
We're gonna link that shit below in the YouTube version. We're gonna be like, shout out Toshi.
Yeah, I gotta hook it up, and then my number 2, which is like closer to me, like a hole in the wall, and I love them. It's super cute. Is called carp, like the fish. And those are my
cute.
2.
I like it too. I haven't even been there, and I like it.
We'll go when you come up.
Yes, I will. I definitely have to do it. I want you right now, though, to tell me a little bit about the Vancouver music scene, because I'm pretty sure it is like swole. It is a music town for sure, right?
There's a lot of great talent up there. It's interesting because like I feel like everyone kind of knows because Vancouver's really small. And at the same time, so I've been living in LA this is my 5th year in LA. So I feel like it keeps changing, and I like don't know like what scene is like what anymore. But when I was there, which is what I can speak to, I used to play at this club called Shine, where one of the main residents, if not the main resident, was U-Turn, who was half Vaughn Oliver from Oliver. Oh, yeah. And so, but it was like mostly open format, like hip hop. It was like they were mostly doing open format nights, and then we were pushing like sort of like the blog house thing, and I started playing there, and we had like, I don't know, sort of different acts come through and sort of built it up a little bit more organically that way. And that was really cool to see because I don't know that we'd have like big EDM acts come through, but like not like at this new like fresh kind of, you know, people that were down with like Chromeo or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like classic days and Justice and stuff like that.
I mean, you're speaking my language. I know this is why we became friends in the first place, because we both love this shit, but yeah, take me back.
And it was really exciting because like you would have different collectives popping up, and some were doing like, I guess what would become sort of like what sort of became trap, but almost more selection-y type of stuff. And you had different people that like, so for example, like people from Vancouver that, you know, would be like household names, would be like Pomo or like Ikali or like Dirty Radio, who have collabed with a bunch, and like, you know, some house guys that were already doing their thing, but like people that were kind of I probably recognized as like pushing their scenes forward. Right? Or their sounds forward.
Dinosaur Shoddy was just asking if Pomo is still in Vancouver, if Pomo ended up in LA as well.
I don't think so. That guy, I haven't seen him in a few years. He's very elusive. I think he's for sure in LA writing like pop for like, I don't know, Casey Musgraves or someone like that.
Yes, get it.
Yeah, right? Which is funny because like obviously like the world, like they had like him and Danny McKinnon on guitar. They always like write great music. But it feels like this sort of little slice of time, do you know, like SoundCloud and like
definitely. I know. Stuff. I was just listening to the Mastercraft Essential mix for the first time in years from like whatever fucking year that was, and it was so good. I was like upset with how good it was because it was like, see, I do remember. It was like a fucking whole. It was, anyway, can we just bring that back? No, I'm just kidding. You, of course, being more on the new disco side of things, though, like.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's sort of evolved. I don't even know what that, I remember, like, that reaching, like, a point in my mind where that felt like it got co-opted by, like, this smoother thing. Like, honestly, like, Purple Disco Machine is not far away from that sound, but no one uses that word to describe him.
Right,
And so it's just different stuff. And, you know, like, I just kind of I generally make housey stuff now, and most tracks that labels that come with like micro eras, like some Ryan Party Pupils was like, oh, this is sort of like bounce house. I was like, what the hell is bounce house? Like, I don't know. It's like it's a thing that's really popular to TikTok. I'm like, I don't care. I should.
Right.
I just like to make music that I think is like cool, and maybe it's similar to like a trend now, or maybe it's not. But like naming stuff, it's always been hard with like talking about music and probably writing, as you know, you do it very well, but it's very difficult, or writing about art, right?
Yeah. That's why I just, as you were saying, I honestly try to steer away from labeling something a clear genre that people know. And that's why I just like to choose like adjectives or colors or feelings or scenes that I'm like, this song makes me feel like XYZ thing that I just made up, because that will resonate with someone in some way, hopefully. And then it keeps me safe from the assholes who are going to be like, well, that's not side trance fucking step bro rhythm trap, because it's not at 120, it's at 127 BPM, bro. It's not 128. Like, okay, sorry.
It's
go take more drugs and calm the fuck down. I don't know what to tell you.
You're so right. Like, that was always like a pet peeve of mine, and I think that when you stick to talking about like the feelings or your experience with it. Like, it feels happy or it feels sad, or I see like you talking about colors, or it makes me hungry. I don't know.
Yes, hunger step. That's what I'm trying. Hunger house. Let's go.
Hunger house. Oh my god.
That's the genre. That's the set you play when you just flew 6 hours and you didn't get to have dinner with the promoter because you have to go straight
You just had the salad.
Club.
You just had the Caesar salad because you were like worried about. You didn't know what was in the dish. You were too shy to ask.
Oh my god! Amazing. I love how this conversation has been so fluid and ridiculous and about nothing. By the way, thank you for being a great guest.
It's like my life, really, just floating from place to place.
I know. So you're in Portugal right now, but where else are you going? Are you doing a whole European adventure?
I'm not doing a European venture because it's international travel has kind of bit me in the butt a couple times this year already. As much as I would love to, it's just hard to keep track of the changing restrictions. I'm sure everyone kind of knows week to week in different countries, but I'm kind of wrapping this trip. I was in New York before, did a show, and then I was in Chicago. I opened for Zed on Halloween.
Ooh, how was that? Zed is a mainstream artist who I think you see him as a mainstream guy. He's a big EDM guy, but I think real killer, real motherfucker who knows what he's doing, cares about what he's doing, and is in
super nice guy.
Yeah,
I think really is into different kinds of music as well. Like, just as a music guy that has not happened to. It's not an accident, but like has found. This massive like audience and success, and that's it doesn't like necessarily change your tastes or like where you come from. And even though I didn't even meet him because like I kind of showed up late, like he had gone to dinner and somehow I missed him because I had to go to the airport. He like messaged me and was just like, it was just like very, sometimes people's like even like a message, you can kind of get someone's like energy, and like went back and forth a little bit, and like it was just nice to, I don't know, I suppose feel like appreciated, like even though we didn't like link up, because like I had a great time, and it's cool to sometimes like in there's industry stuff, and then there's like sometimes you can tell like with art stuff, like people that are like really do care about their craft, and that's always feeds the flame.
Yeah. Wait, this makes me feel like a good segue into talking about your Fone-a-Friend series of interviews that you did on Twitch over quarantine. You are no stranger to this format, my friend. But you talked with like so many incredible legends on that show. You had Duke Dumont, you had Moon Boots, you had A-Track. Like, how was that experience for you? And I imagine that was all about speaking to the people who really care about their craft. And
it was an incredible opportunity. I kind of wish that I was like better set up for the technical side of things.
Yeah, trust. We all learned it as we have been going. I'm still learning it. What is this?
There was some stuff on there, some stories that like I didn't archive properly, and like that are kind of lost. Like a sleeper, some sleeper ones. Well, two Tylers. So one being Low File. Who like produces, he's a Grammy winner for his work with her, and producer for Lena Perez, and just a hitter and like dope guy, all about the music. And he was telling stories about interning or being an assistant for Skrillex.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was like, but that's not even how like anything necessarily happens. So I think but long story short, I think he first entered because he was like the producer, like DJ in like a punk band that is like was pretty well known. They did like Warped Tour, but then he was doing this thing on the side, and then like he did a remix competition for Zed and like won it somehow, which is sick because his first like competition. And then like Zed's manager like became his manager. Like,
damn,
yeah,
that's why you enter remix contests.
That's why you enter remix contests, right? Like the upside, I suppose, is
yeah. I mean, most of the time that's not going to happen, though. Kids, don't get your hopes up.
But yeah, so that was a crazy one, and then like another sleeper one was like not even a sleeper, but like Tyler, like Louis Vuitton.
Oh yeah,
that one might be on YouTube somewhere actually, but he tells this crazy story about like his journey to LA from like Philly and like kind of like opened up a lot about like a lot of stuff, and that was I don't know. I like stories, and it's cool to hear other artist stories. You realize that there's not one way to figure out your path, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And then
there were like,
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, there were also some like other like not DJs, like not artists, like on there, different, not just DJs. Like we had like Maddie J, who's a dope beat maker, and like Madison Vickery's like this, who's a major label A&R, and it was cool to maybe like get that candid sort of perspective from that side of things.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that that's also, well, I've heard producers say that that's also kind of what happens when you end up collaborating with people is you get this backstage. I'm trying to hide from the sun. It's terrible. But you get this backdoor view into how another producer creates, because so many electronic music producers are just like self-taught nerds who got a piece of software when they were a teenager and have been like figuring it out, and so all of a sudden you can learn these new techniques and things. I mean, I know that you didn't have a lot of great experience with collaborating maybe before Ryan, as you were saying, but cool to do that with your mind and words on your show.
No, absolutely. I think that it was because like techniques are so widely shared nowadays between like Splice and YouTube and tutorials.
True.
People, be like, make this sound. So we didn't get into like crazy technical stuff. And what is always sort of something I'm thinking about is like the creative process. And I think that applies across disciplines, or it's like life kind of approaches. It's like, how do you maximize, like everyone has goals and dreams and stuff that they want to do, and not the same recipe doesn't work for everyone. Like, just certain balances, and some people kind of do better with less balance. Like, I hate to say it, but sometimes that works.
Yeah.
For some.
Where do you lay on the balance scale? Are you a rigid clock in, clock out kind of producer, or are you a when the inspiration strikes, I just got to sit down at the keys, man?
Oh my God. That's a great question. I think
it can be both too. No, everyone's dynamic.
I think I've gone like since I moved to LA, I've gone through like a few different mini lives where when I first got to LA, I believed that like I needed to do as many sessions as possible. And I would like write with like, top liners and pop songwriters like as much as possible. And that had like varying returns, so to speak, not like reflecting anyone's, that's like just brute force, people doing like 4 sessions a week. Not that I was doing that. And then I realized
sure there's pressure because you make this decision to move to LA and you're like, okay, I did this for a reason. And that reason was to be around all this resource and this creativity and these people and these connections, blah, blah, blah. And so then you're kind of like, oh no, I can't just like sit around, I imagine. Like, I better try to meet with so many people, but maybe that's not a great process all the time.
I think it doesn't work. Again, like some artists, so there's a Duck Sauce did like this interview series on YouTube.
Yeah, their Duck Duck Goose thing.
I'm not even thinking of the story. Sorry, that's another thing. First off, everyone should go watch their interview with David Guetta. It's hilarious and like super. I think I might have mentioned it to you, or maybe you've probably seen it. But so when I had A-Track on the show, one of the funniest things he told me was how like Armand van Helden is like super man of leisure.
Oh right, I remember seeing this clip on your Instagram or something. It was amazing.
And he was like, he'll be hanging out. Like he'll like just want to vibe and like watch music videos like when they're hanging out and like that's and like go to a random antique bookstore or like go to the beach or something, and then he'll write like one song, like one record that year, and it'll be like a smash, like a classic, and I'm like,
man,
that's a heck of a life,
right? Fuck, dude, swing.
Don't know if that works for most of us. But
well, that's why not everybody's Armand van Helden. You know what I mean? Like shit. Definitely
true. So I would say for me, I'm constantly trying to figure it out. I think, especially in the last few years, where the industry and like the world has been changing, and so you go from like first you're kind of in survival mode, then you're going, do I like where things are going, and like, do I want to try to recreate like the thing that I was. The lifestyle I was living before, or like the lifestyle I was chasing after before, or do I have like a new iteration of that? Is there some new sort of balance that might, do I have either supporting interests or maybe like non-relevant interests that like maybe I don't know, I wanted to start a cooking show or something, right? Not that, but like I think that this time that we've had to reflect.
A food review show. Pat Lok eats Vancouver.
It'd be called like Too Much Salt, because it would just be me being spicy about everything.
That's amazing! Oh my god! Please at least just start doing like Instagram stories of this, because it's so good.
Maybe I should probably do more food. The food stuff seems to go pretty well. Sometimes I'll do a dish or two, like a family recipe, and people seem to enjoy this. It's like,
well, you got all that like. Where in Asia is your family background? Are you Chinese? You were saying?
We're Chinese. My family's from Singapore, so we're like Chinese ethnically, Singapore Chinese,
right.
Which is like kind of in the grand scheme of things, the way I describe it is like the weird band kid of Chinese or Asia.
That's
like
awesome.
No one knows like what they're into, like really doing.
I mean, as a weird band kid myself, I'm fucking okay with that. Like solidarity.
We're also okay with it. Just like it means that people have no idea like what you're doing. Like, so we have like super dope food, but it's pretty different from like.
That's so cool though. That's why it's cool to share. You got it.
The culture is really strong actually out here. It's interesting, like
in Portugal.
In Portugal, like where I'm at this, I crashed this company event. The guys that put on the show in Lisbon, they did like a retreat over here, and there's a lot of like developers and stuff. And it's interesting because there's like definitely a Malaysia, Singapore contingent. So I'm like hearing these accents which sound like my family, which I don't hear in the States. I just don't hear it.
That's
it's kind of like being around. You hear it in Vancouver here and there, but it's funny to hear like younger people, like not my aunt.
Yeah,
his accent. Right.
You're like, oh wow, they keep making you like this. Like that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I found the update.
Because I'm just like a weird, like assimilated Canadian, like version of this.
That's so cool. Though.
So it's fascinating.
I was showing everybody the Gone Is Yesterday short film video before we came on and really started the show, which I thought was such a beautiful nostalgia trip for every nerd who played like 16-bit, I think that is, video games, and also just a really cool way that you put your family's culture on your sleeve there, like way to just mix up all the interests and all the things that make you do its own unique thing.
I think that's one of those things that like it's because music is so like it's kind of fleeting and we think of like streams as like passive, and to be able to inject so much of yourself into like a story again, which is like I probably mentioned last time when we talked about it, like when we were releasing it, but like I spent more time probably like thinking of the story and storyboarding it and like writing the script and all that, like or an equal amount of time doing that as the music.
Right.
And it was like in conjunction. So I had like started some of the music before when I was in Berlin, and I came back and had like the concept and sort of fleshed it out. Realized, oh my God, we're trying to pack like 100 hours of gameplay type of story arc into like 5 minutes, which is like really stressed me out for a while.
Yeah, it's like every person that's ever adapted a book into a movie feels your pain, right?
Right. Exactly, and then managed to like wrap it up, and then like kind of like finish the EP like around like the final like scenes, and there's probably more. It's not like the great. I don't think it's going to sit and think it's like this great piece of art, but like it definitely feels like it combines, like you said, like a lot of like my childhood and where I am now, or where I was at that time that I wrote it, and. That's cool. Maybe that's what they say. Like every artist should like every person should like find their best self, because like only you. People might pick out certain references, but like if like you would really have to know me like very very well to pick out like all the references,
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, I also commend you on just like following a big idea. Following up on it, like, and actually putting in all that work, because I think a lot of people have great ideas and then they're like, yeah, that's a lot. Get distracted, myself included, man, myself included. It's like it's hard to see things all the way through to the end, but did a great job, so yay.
Thank you. No, I like that one.
Yeah. I mean, listen, okay, so we've been having this wonderful like stream of consciousness conversation, which I adore you for. But I want to talk about the latest Party Lok. Is that how you call it? Party Lok?
Sure. Yeah,
Pat Pupils.
in all of our like texts and like demos, it's just PP and PL, because like it's just like
way that's easier. Good. I like that. PPL, PPP, PPP, PPP,
PPPL.
PPPL.
Yeah, so what happened was basically...
I heard y'all met over Twitter because you both love AHA.
So that's the original, like, how we linked, and we followed each other, and Ryan, or Party Pupils, was tweeting about like a Take On Me remix, and I guess I was like... I suppose I liked the music that I'd heard, and I was like, maybe this could be a thing. So I literally just like wrote some chords, and that was it, and sent them over on like a DM. I was
Amazing.
Like, oh, if you're doing this AHA remix, like maybe you could use these chords, like some jazzier version of it. And Ryan was like, oh, like dope, like this totally works, and then like put the whole thing together. And we didn't even ever release it, but we like play it. I think he plays like a fair amount in sets. And then we met at Electric Forest. We were both playing. I was probably 28. Yeah, I think
was
you were
it the same year? I was going to say, was it the same year that you and I met? Because I didn't have the pleasure of meeting Ryan, but I sure met you.
Yeah, 2018, I think it was.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to remember, and I was like, the before times. It was the before times.
No, but that was a really good one. I mean, that was my first time to Michigan. And to see a festival with that kind of production, which was super cool and fun crowd, obviously. And we met and just kind of hit it off. And then after that, we got back to LA, and I didn't really know his background, but we were like, let's get in the studio. And then, we got together and like did this beat that was actually a lot slower that became From the Back. And I remember that day because I was like stressing over. I was like trying to like figure out these like jazzy chords. I don't come from that background. I just kind of figure out by ear. But he actually does. He used to play in like, and still does, I think, playing like jazz bands.
And he's like a studio musician. He's like a for hire guy.
Exactly. He's very talented.
Yeah, you got to be talented to be one of those motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And so I was like sitting at the keys trying to figure out a couple turnarounds, and he like went to like light up or something. And I was like, oh, now's our chance. Like I can like figure it out. And then
Now's
began
the
this beat.
chance. His hands are busy.
Yeah, he was like outside, and I was like, I think writing on the spot is something that some people excel at, and like writing on the spot with someone else watching.
Oh, yeah, I can't. If someone even looks over my shoulder while I'm writing something on the computer, it's like suddenly I just go ghost, and I'm like, I can't. You must step away. Yeah, read it when I'm done all day. Like
Exactly. Not while I'm like thinking about the words.
Yeah.
And so, but we liked the beat that we came up with that day. It was like a lot slower. It was like 1:15 or something. And then I was like playing out the demo a lot. It was an instrumental. And I kind of had in my mind that there were like two people that would have been would be a great fit on it.
Oh, yeah.
And Dance is one of them. And I'd be curious if you could maybe guess who the other person might be.
Me?
Like, or
anyone. Yeah.
You were the chat.
Who would be the other one? See, now I feel on the spot.
Y'all can throw it out there.
Is it similar to the dances? Yeah, okay, I like that. We've got to
stick around.
Yes.
And then I'll tell you who
Wait, but is it just one hint? Similar to dances, like in the same vein of attitude? Or are we talking like...
Not similar to dances.
Okay, ooh, exciting.
So
it's not Uffy, right? I don't know why I just said Uffy, but I'm going to say it.
That's an interesting one. No, like as the answers come in, like please in the chat. I'm not in the my Twitch is not working. Throw them at me. But so that happened, and what was funny is he just sent like a 2-minute like voice memo over, like literally on his iPhone, and then I was like, all right, I'm like chop up certain parts and remove certain parts and like rearrange it, and then that became the record.
Amazing. And then that started this it didn't start, but as a release it started the beautiful friendship, collaboration, partnership that is PPPL. Totally.
I do like the sound of that.
Right? That is fun.
PPPL.
I like that I heard that you have like almost an album's worth of collaborations that you're sitting on.
So this is like one of those things. I'm super grateful to Ryan because like he is incredibly focused on like the thing he knows like that he needs to do, which is like music all day. Music in his other capacity, studio, musician and MD, and then also for Party Pupils. And I'm like, sometimes I get a little bit distracted and I like start to question myself. And so last year I was like struggling with maybe purpose or like motivation, because a lot of my music comes from like I think of specific context, whether that's to like perform live when I had my live show or to play in the club and stuff. And so being devoid of that, was challenging, as I'm sure that kind of stuff was for everyone. But he was like, hey, like, do you want to work on some stuff? He was actually in New York over the holidays, and I was back up in Vancouver with my family visiting for the first time that year. And then we just started a couple of different ideas, and they went very quickly, which is why it's funny that like our first collab was in person, because like we've literally never written in person since that day in like 2018. But it's easy. We just flip I message like ideas back and forth and be like, oh, I like this, like send me the session and I'll just add on to it. I'll just like record some parts and send them back. And he works quite quickly. And then the last 5 or 10% sometimes we take some finessing, but it was sort of invigorating because then I didn't really have as much time to get like lost in my own head. But like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here? Do I even like music? Like, it's like not, right?
Should I just become a food blogger? Like,
exactly.
Saving the day, place. Captain Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and I was like, even if I didn't know what we were necessarily trying to do, I was like, okay, I like, this idea, and I know what I would like to add on top of that. And so it became like purist again, focusing on like just writing the best song in that moment. Yeah. Right. And for me, like I can detach, it allowed me to detach because I didn't want to like also like let someone else down that was putting in, work that I appreciated. So it's like, it's almost like when you need like someone else to like do something, like send an email or like pick up something, and we can like, I feel like I can procrastinate for myself, but I don't want to procrastinate for someone else because they have their other stuff going on, right? Like they have their whole lives, and maybe they also like to procrastinate. So I'm like, the sooner I give this to you, the better we're all off going to be. Yeah. So on a collab, I'll often try to like get that creative stuff down as quickly as possible and send it back, and then the other artist can be like, no, or I like this, or why don't we do it this way? And then you just have this like active dialogue.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I also see that the time has flown and we are at just about an hour.
Yeah. Jesus, I don't even know.
Can you even believe that? I know. I'm like, the sun has gone like from way up in the sky to all the way down. And I want to hear, first of all, I want to hear who is the other vocal guest, potentially from the back.
So she's super dope, and
so it is a she. Okay.
It's a she. If you want to get any last second guesses, and I think I met her for the first time. We like toured together a little bit.
Oh, geez. Guys, we got to figure this out. Dinosaur Shoddy, I know you know this. Dinosaur Shoddy seems like he knows everything, by the way. Chiesa, Joey Headset is saying? Did you ever tour with Chiesa?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if I tell you where she's from, you'll get it.
Oh, really? Wait, is she from Australia? Is it like, it's not Allison. Is it, Anna? Wait, fuck. What is that woman's name? Why can't I think of her name right now? I'm totally blanking. She's the 808
Someone
song.
in the chat.
She does the, hold on. You stop. I hate myself right now for not being able to think of this.
She's a machine. No, don't worry about it. I forget my favorite song.
Is she a mom?
So. Nope.
Okay, it's not the mom.
Who's the mom?
The mom. Anna Leno.
No, but it's like a rap. Oh, I see what you're saying. No.
Oh, it's a vocalist. The vocalist, the rapper. Okay, when you from
Not
Australia.
Yes.
Wait, is it Iggy Azalea?
She's. No, it's not Iggy. At this point, legitimate guess.
Oh my God! You should tell us.
TK.
Oh, amazing! That would have been tight too. Although now I have Iggy Azalea on the brain.
Jesus. Maybe that's the next.
Do you have an alternative version, or it just never even got that far?
No, but like I was just super so I did this Europe tour with her and Young Franco back in my Kitsune days. I think when we were all like releasing with Kitsune, and I was like, oh my God, like she just has such crazy presence and like so skilled, and it's really cool to see her like blow up and stuff like that now, like really, really blow up. But you could see it like already, like in the presence, kind of similar. Like some people like have it, like Max, for example, like can have it when they perform, and then just super dope on the mic. So it was Dances or TK. I was hoping, and Dances.
You got to come back with the remix one day.
Maybe. Go at TK and be like, yo, respond to Pat.
Exactly. Everybody do it. Become an army.
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
We are sadly coming up at the end of our hour. I want to hear about these particular double releases. This double release, I Want You, Alaska. We listened to I Want You on the way in, and we're gonna listen to Alaska on the way out. So I'd love to hear some stories about the makings of these songs and
sure.
The story. You're all about stories, just like me, Pat. What's the story?
So they both come from like fairly different places, which is fun. Like I Want You is like I'm always like obsessed with like trying to create samples, things that sound like they're like samples, and so combining that with like I love like the classic kind of rave culture and music, like the warehouse type of thing, when it was very like whatever Derek May Strings of Life and like Hoover sounds and ridiculous garage bass lines, right? And so although I hadn't like embraced that a lot in my own releases, probably like this felt like one where I was like, I put down these pianos and tried to make them, made them sound like, kind of more dusty, and then have this like bass line that was kind of like not overwhelming, but like a big bass line that wasn't like too like tech housey. And then we kind of built it around that, and like Ryan like put together the drums, and he was down with like the idea, and then we used this like vocal chop, which was going to be a placeholder at first, and then we were just playing it out, the demo, a lot, and realized that like it seemed to work, and we're like, oh, like maybe this is what it is, and we don't need to like put a whole like pop here type of verse, chorus, bridge, and all that other stuff, right? And that was fun. So that's how that one came about. Definitely like inspired by like the 90s like rave piano house kind of thing. And then Alaska, like Ryan started the idea and sent it to me, and I was like, this sounds very much like kind of like the Lone, deeper, like we're both big Lone fans, like kind of like luxury disclosure-ish almost, not super obvious. And I was just kind of riffing off of that and like adding like different like bassline parts and like different chops and like vocals and stuff. But that one was very much, I feel like, Ryan's original vision, and I was just supporting because I could see where he was going already. It maybe it was like kind of similar on the other side. But I love I love Alaska. It's such a great like.
Yeah.
I feel like I can say that because
you can.
Like, I was just supporting.
Right,
I also feel
right.
like supporting of his vision, and that's the nice thing about a true collab, because like maybe it doesn't like really matter. Sometimes things will be exactly 50-50, or sometimes things might be like 60-40 one way or whatever, and you find like this middle ground, because I think we have overlapping like Venn diagram like sort of taste, but then we also have like our own stuff that we like, and finding the happy medium and going. And we have some of the stuff that you mentioned, like the other material we haven't released yet.
Yeah.
Kind of some of it's slower, some of it's faster, some of it's deeper, and hopefully we continue to like keep writing together. I mean, he just he writes a lot and collabs a lot, but it seems to be, I don't know, it's enjoyable, and we both seem to like the music, so why not?
I do too. I really love when you guys come together. I feel like your styles fit very well with each other's, and obviously it's a very smooth and fluid collaboration, which is worth pursuing, right? Like there's all kinds of fun stuff down the road. I'd love to see y'all perform together someday too. That sounds really fun.
We will make that happen again soon.
When things are really plannable, right?
Yeah, it's all coming back. Like we've been doing some like kind of secret pop-ups around LA, and maybe we'll do more, because those are super fun.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like I would hope that anyone can find like, and Ryan, like Party Pupils is not the only person I've been collabing with over the past year. I got to give a shout out to my friend Brooks, who's like the homie, and like written a bunch, and it's similar. Like we were like connected, like probably connected because she like remixed my record Free Fall, but a super dope producer, like produces for Kimbra. Nice. And writes with her, and like has a record with like Flight Facilities that's about to drop.
Yeah.
And like just when you vibe creatively, it's pretty special.
You found your crew. You're finding it in LA.
Yeah. Remotely.
5 years. Remotely. Yeah. Well, fuck it. That should. Yeah, we're all remote people now, anyways.
Sure. Right. So that's that. I mean, those are those records, and hopefully everyone will get to see some of the other things that we've been working on, and hopefully we'll write some more. Anything
else exciting from you coming out this year, or is this kind of like the slow end to the holidays?
We're scheming for next year.
Nice. Yeah, you should be.
I don't want to like.
Me too. Listen, you have to release more music together so that we can have both of you on the program next time.
Okay. I'll send you some of this stuff.
I'd love to hear it. Yeah, I know. Aren't you jelly chatters? I always get to hear the stuff after the show.
We got you, Kat. Definitely.
Well, Pat,
this has been so much fun.
This has been so much fun. I know. I knew it would be fun. That's why I've been really excited about having you on the program all this time and pushing. And you're super welcome back anytime. And I appreciate that you stayed awake for the whole experience because you must be fucking tired. I don't even know.
We're good.
I hope you have one more nice beer. It looks like you got something good over there that you're sipping on. So enjoy that.
It's an Orange Crush.
Is it really?
No, it's something, I don't know.
Some sort of Belgian beer or some shit. You're in Europe, like who knows?
Exactly. No, hope to see you soon and definitely have Ryan on. We can rip. We'll just rip on each other live. I don't even want to, because he's not here to defend himself, so I don't even want to tell you what
I can't wait to see the ripping in action. The fucking rip and dip. Let's go.
It's all love, right? The harder you rip, the more you love.
Yeah, it's like brothers shit, you know? It's like,
exactly.
I gave you this wet willy because I love you. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
All right.
Asian tough love.
Yes.
All right, Kat. Thank you so much.
This has really been fun, and it was so great to reconnect with you. Have fun out there in Europe.
Pick up the chat.
Yay,
thank you all.
Yay.
See you all soon. Bye.
Bye.